I'm Mrs. ZK, and today we are going to be working with our spelling pattern, O-U-G-H. Today our goal is to practice reading words with O-U-G-H. In order to do that, we're going to practice some of the sounds that O-U-G-H can make in different kinds of words. Right here I have a sound chart that we're going to read through. Then we'll see some sentences that will have some words that have O-U-G-H, but we won't necessarily know the sound until we try different sounds to see which one makes sense in the sentence. All right? You ready, scholars? Let's look at our chart here. On one side, we have words that we might know already, and we're going to try to match the sounds of the underlined letters. The underlined letters are going to give a sound that the O-U-G-H is going to make in the words that are on this side of the column. All right, so O-U-G-H can make different sounds, and the sounds are going to be ones that are going to match the sounds on this side. So let's do an example, it'll make more sense. All right, so the word is no. The sound we're trying to match is O. Okay? So whenever we see O-U-G-H, we're going to say O. You ready? O. Although. Although it's hot outside, I wore a sweater. All right, here's another one. So whenever we see O-U-G-H, it's going to make what sound? O. Oh, though. Yeah, like, though you want to go outside, you still need to do your homework. Right? These are words you can use in sentences. Well, now we're going to come down a row. And now the sound we're trying to match is the sound ooh, like in the word zoo. So when we see O-U-G-H now, we're going to say ooh. All right, so we get ooh. Through, nice work. You can go through a tunnel. Oh, here's some words, all right? We have awe, like in the word awesome. So are you kind of getting onto the pattern? When we see O-U-G-H now, we're going to use what sound? Awe, like in the word awesome. All right, ready? We got awe. Sought. If you have sought out something, you are seeking for something, which means you're looking for something. All right, next one. O-U-G-H is making what sound? Aw. We got brought. Brought. He brought my backpack to me. Thank you. All right, here we go again. Remember, it's aw. Thought. He thought today was going to be chilly. And the last word in this row for aw is ought. Fought. He fought to get his shoelaces untied. Must means they were in a knot, huh? He's fighting with his shoes. Our next sound is off, like in the word often. So when we see O-U-G-H, we're going to make what sound? Off. All right. We got k, off. What word? Cough. You might want to cover your mouth when you have to cough. Then we have off. Trough. And a trough is just something that you might use for animals. You might put their food or their water in a trough outside. Yeah, usually on the farm. All right, and the last sound we're going to work with today is the sound of, like in the word stuff. So when we see O-U-G-H, what sound are we going to make? Uff. All right, let's do it. Uff. Uff. Tough. Nice work. The nail was very tough to get into the wall. Maybe you have to get a better screwdriver, huh? All right, next one. We got enough. Enough. Yeah, if you've had enough of something, you don't want any more. I've had enough dinner, thanks. And our last one, remember ough is making that uff sound. We have rough. Rough. So rough is how something might feel, right? So if you felt the wall and it might feel rough, maybe you need to sand it down a little bit better. Well, nice work, scholars. Those are 5 sounds that ough can make. Ough can make a couple more sounds, but those words are pretty uncommon and the spellings are pretty uncommon. So we didn't work with those today. What we're going to do now is I'm going to have a sentence on the board. And we're going to look through and see, is the word that has ough making one of these sounds? And which sound actually makes sense in the sentence? All right, scholars, here's our first sentence. What we're going to do is we're going to try to read the sentence. But when we get to the ough word, we're going to look at the sounds that we just went over to see which sound is the ough making. And we'll see if it makes a real word and if it makes the sentence make sense. All right, let's go back over our sounds. So we have O as in no, ough as in zoo, aw like in awesome, off like in often, uff like in stuff. All right, let's go. I finished my homework even it took all night. All right, so if I'm looking at this word, maybe it can make the uff sound, ough. Uff, thuff. Is that a real word? No, that can't be it. Let's try ooh. Ooh. Thoo. I couldn't even get my sounds out right. Thoo, that's not a real word either. Well, think about what makes sense in a sentence. So he finished his homework, even though though is a real word, and that makes sense. I finished my homework even though it took all night. Nice work, scholars. Let's get a new sentence on the board. All right, here's our next sentence. I see that our ough word is right at the beginning of the sentence. So it's going to be kind of hard to figure out what the word's supposed to be. I'm not sure. So let's try to use some of these sounds. Let's try O. B. Oat. Boat is a real word. Let's see if that makes sense. I boat a new game. I boat a new game with my allowance. Let's try a different one. What about ooh? I boot. Boot is a real word. I boot a new game. I boot a new game with my allowance. That doesn't make sense either. Let's try the aw. Ought. Bought. I bought a new game with my allowance. Yeah, that one made more sense, right? And just because something might sound like a real word, think about when we were saying boot or boat, do you know how those words are spelled? And think about, if you know how they're spelled, are they spelled with the ough? Because if they're not, then you know that can't be the word, right? But it also has to make sense in the sentence. So I bought a new game with my allowance. That makes sense. Here's our next sentence, scholars. Here's our ough word. Okay. You want to try O? Let's try it. Eno? Eno? That didn't sound like a real word. What about ough? Enu? Enu? Let's try aw. Ena? Ena? No. Do you know what it is? You want to try uff? Enough. Enough. Let's see if that makes sense in our sentence. I had enough snacks for everyone at the party. Did that make sense? Yeah, nice job trying different sounds to get a real word and then seeing if that word made sense in your sentence. Having enough snacks for everyone means you bought plenty so that everyone could get some. All right, scholars. Here's our next sentence. I see my ough word here. All right, let's see. We had to drive. Ooh, what do you think? Should we start right here again? Throw. Throw's a real word, right? Do you know how throw is spelled? Not sure? Okay, let's check. We had to drive through. No, that didn't make sense, did it? We don't drive through, we drive through. What sound are we using? Ooh, like in zoo. Nice. We had to drive through the tunnel to get past the mountain. All right, scholars, here's our last sentence. I see that our ough word is all the way down here at the bottom. So maybe we can figure it out and maybe we might use the sounds. Let's see. The farm animals are always at the drinking water. Ooh, at the tro drinking water? Ooh, at the true drinking water? You know, true's a real word, but I know true is not spelled with the ough, and it doesn't even make sense in our sentence. So it's not ooh. They're always at the trough drinking water, or are they always at the trough drinking water, right? Remember how I told you the trough is where they'll put water or they'll put food in there for the farm animals. That's where the animals want to be. Nice work today, scholars. We've worked with lots of different sounds, even though it was the same spelling pattern. We've tried to plug in different sounds to unknown words to see if we can get a real word to make it make sense in the sentence. That's a reading strategy you can use when you get stuck on a word. If you know that a spelling pattern makes more than one sound, try the different sounds until it's a real word and it makes sense in your sentence.
This program is made possible in part by the Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Additional support by viewers like you. Thank you.